From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max and on Buzz TV. Hope you're doing well out there at Jacksonville, having a great time and during this awesome holiday season. Your Jacksonville Jaguars got back on track, ending the 7-game skid. Thank the Lord for the nighttime on that one. They get it done with defense, not so much on offense. We'll take the ugly win, better than a pretty loss. Hey, all you Georgia Bulldog fans, got to be very proud of you going against Alabama this past weekend. It's unfortunate they don't have more teams to fit into that top 4. I think this year especially shows the college football playoff has got to be extended to 8 teams. Hopefully that happens in the very near future. We had a great show lined up for you today. Adam Podlish is here, former Jag punter, played 8 years in the NFL. Looking forward to catching up with him. Kurt Town for the Kurt Town Band. They've got a great event happening at the beginning of the new year. And Frank Castile, CEO and president of Feeding Northeast Florida, a great up close and personal. Headed your way all this week on The Horse's Mouth as we're live from Tommy Max, and we're right here on Buzz TV. All right, welcome back to The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Of course, we're live at Tommy Max. As promised, my celebrity guest this week, former Jag, Bear, and Steeler punter, 8-year NFL veteran out of the University of Maryland, it's Adam Podlish. Adam, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on the show, man.
Yeah.
You're my first punter, I believe, that I've had on this show, so cheers to that. It's an honor, brother. No doubt about it. First of all, congrats on a great career, man. 8 years in the NFL is a tough hill to climb, no doubt about it. So congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a good ride.
When you look back, what comes to mind first and foremost when you look back at that 8 years?
You know, the game days were pretty fun, but really it's, the people I met, the teammates.
Yep.
As you meet some pretty interesting people.
Yep.
And you create a lot of great bonds.
Yeah.
Those things last forever.
Forever, no doubt about it. When you think about the punter position, you don't realize the high pressure job that it is. We were talking offline where, look, with linebackers for say, there's 5 or 6 on every team, maybe 7. When you're looking at punters, there's 1 on every team. So if you don't get it done, that's one job out of another 30, 31, right? So it's pressure packed. You better either get them out of trouble with a big leg or be able to pin them in deep to get them that great field position.
Yeah, there's no backup. So, granted, like I told you, I'm not cracking my skull on a bunch of other guys every play like you guys did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's no backups. There's 32 jobs. And on top of that, we really only have, maybe 3 or 4 plays a game to show what we do. So if you have, if I have one bad punt, that's a quarter of my game that just went bad. I got 2 bad punts and I'm looking for another job.
Yeah, you got the pink slip at the locker,
It happens.
So what's the toughest punt coming from a seasoned punter like yourself? Is it getting the team, out of their end zone, or is it pinning the opposition deep in their own end zone?
Situationally, I would say it's the backed up punt, particularly if you're on an away game, you got people right behind you screaming in your ear.
Right.
I've had that a couple times. The last time, the one that comes to mind right now is, when I was playing for the Bears, we played at New Orleans, and man, that place rocks.
Right.
That place rocks, and we were backed up on the 1.
How about when your heels are right on the end line, right? Not the goal line, the end line, because one step out, it's a safety.
Yep.
You cannot take a step back. That seems extremely challenging.
Yeah, and for me, even more so, because the way that I punted, I would actually take a little bit of a back step when I received the ball.
Okay, right.
And you would see me, if you've ever seen me backed up to the end line, you'd see me take those steps back like 8 times to make sure, all right, I'm not touching the end line. Because the last thing you want to do, get ready to punt. You take a safety accidentally.
Cool.
That's never happened to me. but it's happened to other people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you watch for that.
Head coach isn't happy when that
That's
goes
a good way
down.
to get a pink slip.
Hey, you notice a lot in today's game, punters are almost punting like a rugby style with the ball, like the point down, it seems anyway, and then they're kicking it. Was that going on when you were playing, or is that a new technique? What actually does that do?
Yeah, that actually just started getting popular right around the time that I got drafted. So about 2007 was when you started seeing a lot of guys do it. I started implementing it personally around 2008. I learned how to do it. But really the reason why you do it is, what people used to do is that coffin corner punt to get it inside the 20. And now we realize, if you can just get a fair catch at the 10-yard line, and if you can do it consistently, like a wedge shot, if you play golf and do something consistent, that's a win every time. And then, that type of punt is so controllable.
Right.
You can put that wherever you want.
So instead of having to get it inside the 10 on the sideline, right, that's what they used to do, now you can put it in the middle and not have to worry about, where did it go out on the sideline.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Exactly. You just hang it up a little bit, fair catch it, and then a lot of times if they let it go.
Do that all this time. That's great.
If they let it go, it can backtrack too. You see sometimes you just pull the string and they back up too with those punts.
Have you ever made a big tackle on punt? The coverage breaks down. It's between you and the return man. You ever make a big stick at all?
So I was a linebacker in high school, so I kind of had a little pedigree. Nothing like you, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
But
Cool.
So I've had a couple hits, but I want to say my claim to fame is I have a registered tackle on Sean Rogers.
Do you really? Wow.
So in 2009, we played against, I think it was it Cincinnati?
Okay.
He was playing
with
the
Lions? Are you talking to D tackle Sean Rogers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he was with the Lions for a while. Was he with the Bengals too? Let's just say he was with one of them.
Yeah, he was with one of them. So we played, it was at home, 2009 when I was playing with the Jags, and we had a blocked field goal.
Okay.
Ball goes backwards, and there's me running there, and Scobie was in front of me.
Right.
What people don't know is that Scobie had just broken his wrist. And he's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to pick up this ball.
Right.
So Josh literally just runs over the ball, runs past it.
Yep.
Sean Rogers jumps on the ball.
Oh, boy.
Because he was the one who blocked the kick. He blocked however many field goals
he did
in his
a lot.
career.
And you jumped on.
I jumped on him like a fly on a camel's back.
That's a
tackle.
big hit. That's a huge hit against a defensive tackle. That's cool, man. That's cool. Learning the inside stories of the punting positions, always, any position really, that I didn't play, is always kind of fascinating. Hang in there. We're going to get into what you're doing now and everything. You're here in Jacksonville like a lot of us are. Adam Podlish here on the Horse's Mouth, live from Tommy Maxon on Buzz TV. We'll be right back. Proud to introduce my title sponsor for the Horse's Mouth. It's Ewing Real Estate, a great group of people who can help you with any commercial real estate project out there. Whether you're developing land, you're building an office or an apartment complex, or you need some help with financing, we can assist you. Give us a call at 354-5573 or visit us online at allenewing.com.
My parents started me in scouting when I was actually a Cub Scout. The values that scouting teaches guided me most of my life since I've been involved in it. Values that have continued to serve me even in my job as a judge. But it teaches teamwork. It teaches leadership. I urge parents to explore the program and to hopefully choose it for their children.
Sign your child up for Scouts at beascout.org today.
All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Of course, we're at Tommy Max, as we always are. Adam Polish continue to join me at the bar. Adam, you're a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch and have been for some time now. How did that transition from the NFL into that world? How did that all come about?
Yeah, I was a business major in college. I had a little bit of a finance background. I've been around small business owners for quite some time in my family, and I kind of always knew that was the route I was going to go. It was just a matter of waiting until the NFL told me I wasn't good enough. Happens.
It ends for us all. Whatever the case may be, it ends for us all.
Yeah, so that was it was a natural transition for me, really.
How fill in the void? I know how I feel. I mean, I've been gone now. I haven't played forever, right? And there's still a void, right? You're like, because you can't, it's hard to replace playing in the NFL. Do you feel that at all with your life at this point in your life?
I will say, time kind of fills the void a little bit in finding a purpose.
Right.
Really there are a few things that it's really tough to equal.
Yep.
I always tell people, that rush of on game day having such a tough task and accomplishing it.
Right.
And just having that, like we did it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
it's glorious.
Take hours for you to go to
feeling.
bed after you got home because you're just so amped up from a game.
Yeah.
That's tough to kind of fill, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love what I do, and that's kind of filled my purpose moving forward.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And it's more professional. It's not personally, but there is something about playing in the National Football League, right? There's nothing like it. What's your philosophy as an analyst, and anything you took from football or sports in general that helps you in your day-to-day operation?
Yeah, I'd say, and I kind of would help some of the players in the locker room, but really, with how volatile our job was,
right?
You always have to think of the what if.
Yeah.
And for that transitions perfectly to my line of work because, in order to plan, a person's finances and their future, you have to think about the what if because eventually something's going to happen. And if you don't have, that accounted for, so that really helped me transition and always kind of think about, well, what if something happens? So that way the client doesn't have to. And
you work for Merrill, of course, but you're in business for yourself. You're your own entity, right? You have a team probably that you work with, much like in the NFL. I always tell people, look, you're an entrepreneur playing in the NFL, right? It's your own business. Mm-hmm. You're the business, right? And whether that's playing on the field or doing appearances or doing a charity, whatever it may be, that you are the business. So it does kind of, correlate and cross over.
Absolutely. From a development standpoint, from having your business, it is pretty similar because you have your own brand. Right. And then you have your own team, who I work with a team, and essentially that's kind of like, Merrill Lynch I equate to like the NFL. You've got the Cleveland Browns, you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, you've got all of these different entities. And in some cases they kind of compete, and you want to prove yourself as, the best at what you do, and that's what our team's continuing to do, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That's great. Well, the Horse's Mouth is a Jacksonville show. We love this city. You came back, and you're here now, and this is your hometown. So why? Tell the people why.
Oh, man. There's a lot of reasons why. One, while my time here, I met my wife. Yep. She's a native Floridian. She's been living in Jacksonville.
Okay, that's a strong pull. I know the feeling.
That's a huge pull right there. Yep. And on top of that, my time here, I really love the community. I love the people. I like to play golf.
Yep, good.
I'm from upstate New York, so the weather's slightly better than up there.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. And outside of any financial reasons, the cost of living is great. There's a lot of great growth. I think there's a lot of great future with this area as well, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like raising kids and settling down here's a good move.
That's great. All right, as we wrap up, look at a camera too, and let people know how they can find Adam Podlish.
Yeah, you can find me. Like I said, I'm at Merrill Lynch. Best is email adam.podlish@ml.com.
All right, great stuff, Adam. Thanks again, man. You're going to stick around. Kurt Town from the Kurt Town Band is coming up next. We love when people just stop by at the bar. We're going to talk a little music, talk a little fun, all coming your way right here on the Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV as we are live from Tommy Max. We'll be right back. Art of Natural Stone, located at 10135 Beach Boulevard, has over 30 years of experience in creating the perfect outdoor oasis for your home. They can build your dream patio, walkway, pool, fountain, or fireplace. Their dedicated and experienced team strives for customer satisfaction, offering the highest quality service available in the stone industry. And check out their new location at 14011 Phillips Highway. Find them online at artofnaturalstone.com. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Max. We're on Buzz TV. Adam Podlish is here, of course, and Kurt Town from the Kurt Town Band joins us at the bar. Kurt, great to see you again, man. How you doing? I know you know Adam, of course. You got a big event coming up, the Ultimate Tailgate at Sea, just after the new year in 2019. How exciting is that?
It's a blast.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
How many bands? I mean, it looks like you got about 12, 15 bands. Is that?
I don't know the total number, but it's going to be pretty much 24/7. It won't be totally 24/7, but there's a lot of people that won't sleep.
So, Adam, as football players, as athletes, we often envision or dream about, man, what would it be like to be a rock star? Someone up on stage, playing guitar, drums, or singing, and that whole, because we know what it's like with our whole team being cheered, but when it's just 4 or 5 or 2, whatever it may be, that's got to be the ultimate feeling. At least I think so.
I always wanted to be a drummer.
Really?
And and if you go back to when I was a kid, I play like a rock band.
Yeah.
And I always, I thought that was the coolest thing if I could be a drummer.
I did one time.
Man, get on the
My
drums
soul
play.
said, "You embarrass me."
I envy a lot. I mean, people in a rock band, drummers in particular. I thought that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, I love it.
I learned just a week ago the drum and the bass is what makes people dance. Is that true?
Just ask them; they'll tell you yes. I would agree to that. Yes.
Yeah, that gives you the beat anyway, right?
Absolutely.
So what's it like, Kurt? You've been in Southern rock pretty much your whole life.
Yeah,
What's it been like for you? Tell us.
I've played all kind of music. I've been very blessed. I've toured. I've recorded. I've got to play with legends, so it's always been fun. I've been playing professionally since I was 15 years old.
Have you really?
I grew up on the west side of Jacksonville, so under all those guys and them pushing me to do better. And
and all those guys you're talking about, Skinnerd
and Hatchet and 38. And, the Johnny Van Zant band when it was Johnny Van Zant band. So there's a lot of bands that have always been instrumental.
Much talent out of Jacksonville.
Blackfoot,
it's incredible.
Blackfoot, yeah.
And Blackfoot as well?
Absolutely. Ricky and the guys, absolutely.
So what's it like when you guys all get together on a cruise ship playing music and partying with your fans? It's
really like a family reunion. I mean, it really honestly is. I've known them since I was a kid.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of fun. It's just really relaxed. You get to meet everybody, and everybody has a common interest. We're all there because we love music. We love Southern rock. And they're from all over the world. They come from all over the world and just have a great time and not worry about anything except having a great time and enjoying music.
Yeah, and sitting around like having breakfast with rock stars, dinner, lunch, whatever the case, happy hour.
All of it.
All of it.
All of the
and
above.
more.
Absolutely. And then they do games and everybody's interacting. It's a lot of fun.
And you're leaving out of Tampa. You're going to go to Cozumel and Progresso.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
January 6th through the 12th.
Correct.
All right, so let's talk about being on the road, okay? Because I know you have to be on the road when you're a musician, right?
Absolutely.
Especially if you got an album drop and you got to get out there and promote it, right?
Correct.
One of my favorite songs is "Turn the Page" by Seeger, and I also like Metallica's version as well. Does that sum it up?
It is exactly that. That is it.
Wow.
That nailed it.
And you just have to move on, go to the next one, right?
And it's so crazy, you're sitting in the restaurant. I mean, all those things are absolute true.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
What about so we know as football players, when you come in as a rookie, I often think I didn't make my first 2 teams, right? I think there was a plan there, because maybe I'd have gone too a little crazy, being 23, 24, but then you mature, then you realize, hey, this is my livelihood, this is my job. I mean, everyone thinks, rock and roll, going out on the road, it's all this craziness, and I'm sure there's some, but does there come a point in your career where you're like, you know what, I got to be smarter, not smarter, but I got to just hone it in a little bit and still have my fun. But man, I got to make sure I can perform.
The thing about it is that I've always been about the music. It's always been about the music for me. So for me, I get into business mode and I take care of all the stuff that I need to do. My relaxed time, the place that I feel comfortable is on stage in front of people or in a studio.
Yep.
So for me, everything leading up to that is just to get me onto that stage. Once I hit the stage, I'm completely comfortable. And it doesn't matter if there's 10, 20,000 people or 10 or 20 people. Although the 10 or 20 people is a lot harder to play for.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That intimate scene.
So yeah, it's a blast. It's a great time, and that's what you work for. So when you're on that stage and you get that opportunity, then you pour your heart and soul into it.
How do you keep the voice fresh? I'm struggling today. So how do you keep the voice fresh and ready to roll every time?
It's the irony is you try not to talk a lot.
That's right.
And I know that doesn't help you right now.
No, it doesn't help me at all.
But that's the hardest part. You know? And I love talking with people. I love meeting with people.
Yeah, me too.
So you got to have a little bit of time before you go on stage just to kind of chill out, relax, just to calm everything down, maybe warm up and go on.
All right, check it number 2, the camera. Let people know how they can find out about the ultimate tailgate at sea.
Well, I tell you what, if you go to the Southern Rock Cruise on Facebook and type in CTB fan, it gives you a promo code, and that gives you some money off, and it helps you get in there. But it's a blast. You can look it up on all the different social medias.
Okay.
They're playing them on the radio station promos, television promos. Cool. It's a lot of fun. If you've never been on a cruise, and I never cared to be on a cruise, but once you get on a cruise like this, you can't wait for the next cruise like this. It is so much fun.
Molly Hatchet, Marshall Tucker, Blackberry Smoke, just to name a few of.
Oh yeah, Skinner. You can't forget Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner making an appearance.
The host. Yeah, they're the host.
That's going to be fun. Hey, thanks for coming on the show and promoting it.
I
Always good to see you, Adam. Thanks for hanging out, brother.
Thank you.
Great to have you on the show.
Likewise.
All right, we're going to wrap it up when we come back, but first we'll get into a little up close and personal right here on the Horse's Mouth, live from Tommy Max and on Buzz TV.
Big event or party at your home or business? The Jacksonville Party Company. Stress-free, flawless, and memorable. Whether it's for children, a retirement, a wedding, or other social or professional activity, it's stress-free, flawless, and memorable when you involve the Jacksonville Party Company. Contact them today to get your event launched at jacksonvillepartycompany.com.
An Eagle Scout rank is equal in weight, probably to a college degree when it comes to job opportunities. I was extremely proud of putting Eagle Scout on my college application. The same is true when it comes to applying for a job. It puts you in a different category. Those that have their kids in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, keep them there and understand the values of the lessons that they're learning.
Sign your child up for Scouts at beascout.org today.
All right, time now for Up Close and Personal here on the Horse's Mouth as we are live from Tommy Max on Buzz TV. Frank Castillo is the CEO and president of Feeding Northeast Florida, a fantastic organization. Joining me now here at the bar. Frank, great to have you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on the show. This is a big deal here in Northeast Florida, and we're just talking Northeast Florida today about getting people fed, getting people out of poverty, getting people back to work. It's a big-time problem. Getting them off the opioid drugs that have infiltrated our communities. This has become and has been a big-time problem just here in Jacksonville and Northeast Florida.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Look, if we look at what food insecurity looks like in Northeast Florida, there's over 280,000 people that are food insecure.
Wow.
Of that's in our 8-county region, 180,000 are in Duval County alone.
Wow.
And then, within Duval County, we have 80,000 children that are food insecure, right? So all of these things have ramifications in our communities, as well as in what it means for us economically. I would respectfully submit that we cannot have the type of economy or the type of community that we all want when that many people are struggling to even put food on their table.
And you're talking, at least here in Jacksonville, you're talking about a sector of Jacksonville that is most affected by socioeconomic trials and tribulations. Is that correct in saying?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. For those of people who are familiar with the zip codes here, everything from 06 to 10, and then 54. Those zip codes in particular, which are west of 95, inside the 295 beltway. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other areas in our community that equally have the need, but that particular area in particular has a significant amount of challenge.
And we were talking before the show about the look, I know as an athlete, the importance of food, and not just any food, not high calories with sugar and all that, but good solid food, lean proteins, produce, etc. like that. I know what it means to fuel the body, but we're talking about people just getting fed so they're not hungry, and that has a big impact on not just being hungry, about everything else that goes on in their life.
Yeah, there's no doubt. If you look at the Northwest Corridor, there are a lot of different challenges that they have. Number one, they don't have as many supermarkets as they need to have. So even if they can afford the food, they don't have anywhere to buy it. And even though there are locations where you can buy fruits and vegetables, you have to be able to get there. On top of that, if you're only getting your food from convenience stores, which is what happens feedings in that corridor.
Sure.
Here's a little known fact. It costs 48% more for you to buy food, and then on top of that, the food's not healthy, right? You don't have the type, you have empty calories that are cheap, but they're not good for you. And
you might fill up your belly for the time being, but the overall nutritional value is very weak, which can cause a lot of problems, can cause some illnesses, and can cause different things that can affect you mentally, with your confidence and everything that all entails.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's the reason why when you look at the Northwest Corridor, you look at the issues of diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, and they're significantly higher than the rest of our community.
Wow.
A lot of people look at obesity in that particular corridor and say, well, clearly they don't have a food problem. But I would argue that that's exactly why they have a food problem. When you have that many empty calories, when you have cheap food, you have fast food restaurants that will talk about a $3, $4, $5 meal.
Right.
What is that meal in comparison to the kind of food that they should be eating? Right.
Absolutely.
And then the ramifications that has on health. Well, in Northeast Florida alone, that costs all of us $900 million.
All right, Frank, well, this has been very eye-opening for me. Before you go, please look at the camera, too, and let people know how they can find you guys, how they can help, and where you're at.
So if you go on our website, feedingnefl.org, you will find a place there to donate as well as to come and volunteer. More than anything, we are so thankful for this community, for being generous with your time and with your financial support. Without you, we can't do what we do.
All right, Frank. Thanks so much, man.
Thank
really
you, Tom.
Appreciate you coming on the show. We'll talk offline and see if we can put something together. I know, hey, look, we've got a very giving community out there. Always have. There's a lot of different organizations and charities. Obviously, keeping people fed has got to rank up there in the near top, and we'll do everything we can right here on the Horse's Mouth. We'll be right back. More from Tommy Max right here on Buzz TV. Brought to you by
I grew up in Alabama, and scouting was a big deal there. I started as a Cub Scout and went all the way through Boy Scouts and ended up earning my Eagle Scout. I'm proud to say both my boys are Eagle Scouts. Scouting was, to me, the number one thing I wanted to make sure that they did. And if you see that on a resume, it sort of checks the box that this individual is goal-oriented, strong character, strong morals. So fundamentally, I think you kind of know that you got a base to work with.
Sign your child up for Scouts at beascout.org today.
All right, that's going to do it for us this week on The Horse's Mouth. Hope you enjoyed yourselves, took you inside the life of a punter, man. It's a high-pressure job. I know punters don't get a lot of the respect as other football players do, but after talking to Anna Podlish, hopefully you do as much as I do now. No question about that. Want to thank Kurt Town. Great event. Don't forget, if you're into those cruise vacations, now you can do it with a bunch of rock stars and have a fun time. Don't forget to check them out. And want to thank Frank Castile from Feeding Northeast Florida. What a great organization. Hey, this is a Jacksonville show, right? We love the people of Jacksonville, all people of Jacksonville. If we can help anybody out, we will do so. It is the season of giving. So make sure you keep Feeding Northeast Florida in your mind when you think about giving this great holiday season. That'll do it for us, Jacksonville. Hope you have a great week. Hope you are staying cool out there and being safe. And we'll see you next time right here on The Horse's Mouth, live from Tommy Max and on Buzz TV.